Happy New Year! If this is your first episode, welcome. If it is not, welcome back. I am so excited. 2020 is over. Now, I'm going to say that this is a little bit different in that I'm going to record this episode in two sections. I'm recording today because I'm home alone, and this doesn't happen very often. So I'm going to try to do the bulk of what I normally do today. And then tomorrow I will record the drawing for Zoom Along because this is the last day of Zoom Along. So tomorrow I will add in the drawing and I'll just tack it on to the end here. So yeah, anyway, welcome to All the Yarn. I am Lindsay. If you want to find me on Instagram, you can find me under All the Yarn. And if you want to find me on Ravelry, that is All the Yarn dash. You gotta have the dash at the end. Otherwise, it's somebody else. Oops. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I did not weave my ends in. But this is a finished sweater. And the blocking mats were laying right where I'm sitting. I needed to move everything. And in moving it, I realized, ooh, this sweater's dry. Maybe I'll just slip it on and see how it fits. Guys, look at this. Yeah, you see how, look at the drape. It is magnificent. I'm so excited. This yarn is Hugh Loco's Opal base, which it was kind of a treat yourself kind of purchase. It is a little bit on the pricier end, even for hand-dyed yarns, at least in my budget. So to get a sweater's quantity was like, oh God, I really hope I like the sweater. And it took me a while. I want to say the yarn sat in my stash for at least a year before I found the right pattern. And then, you know, you knit it up, and I did put it on before blocking, and it fit, but like not quite. And I thought, okay, this should work once it blocks out. And it's like perfect. Like, even though this looks fitted, it's like there's a lot of it. It's not tight. Nothing is tight. Everything is just fitted, but oh, it's a good fitting sweater. I'm very excited about it. And this yarn, it has, I should know this. Hold on, got an extra skein. It is 50-50 silk and superwash merino. So, I mean, people say like butter. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm wearing a hot bubble bath. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like, oh yes, I just shaved my legs. I mean, it's just so silky smooth. My legs don't feel like this even when they're shaved. I'm sorry, but it's true. I'm telling it. Oh, it is, you know, 50% silk. It is a bit of a luxury yarn, but yeah, it's kind of gorgeous. The colorway is Girl Talk, and so I have, what's that? My life has lots of sound effects in it, and apparently needed to be there. I don't know. Hopefully I don't do that for the rest of this episode. Oh my gosh. Sometimes tics are like when a song gets in your head and then you just like keep singing it. And like sometimes I get a tick and it just keeps going and going and going until finally it works its way out of my system. So hopefully that doesn't continue for the next 30 minutes. Anyway, I was a little concerned that the sweater wasn't going to fit because I should have only a half a skein left and I have a whole skein left. And I haven't checked my gauge to see if that was the deal. I will say it was very hard for me to keep my tension because this is very slippery yarn. I mean, it's very slippery. So it was hard for me to keep gauge. I don't think you can see it on camera. Well, maybe. So like right here, I have a tank top on. and maybe just barely, if you're really, really looking, you can see that line on my tank top. It's not super see-through. I would be okay not wearing a tank top underneath this. It's cold today, so I am. It's probably a little bit more lightweight, just a little bit looser than what the gauge originally intended. That's what I'm assuming. That's why I didn't use the extra half a skein that my size called for. I don't know. But I love it. I like that it feels very loose and airy. I think I could easily wear this during the summer. It's definitely keeping me warm today. I do normally weave in my ends before blocking, but I didn't. I was so excited that it was off the needles that I'm like, oh, just block, 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 block. Let's get on the blocking mats. But I will hopefully weave in my ends today. Definitely these. Definitely the ones on the split hem. But anyway, I just wore, which sweater was it? It was one that I knit this year. And I put it on and I'm like, what is this? And I had an end, like, I don't know, it was like an 8-inch long end just hanging out wherever I started at the neckline. Never wove it in. I know I'm not the only person that does this, because I was in the sweater weather video with Chevis, and many of the sweaters that I tried on that I didn't knit, they had ends not woven into. So if you're someone that sometimes just says, I'm not gonna weave that end in, you're not alone. We all do it. Anyway, I'm not gonna say whose sweater it was. Anyway, okay, so the yarn is Hue Loco, Opal base. The colorway is Girl Talk. The sweater is Threshold by Melanie Berg. She is Marilyn D on Instagram, and it's just got a nice boat neck. It's got the diamond detailing. I will say, let's see if I can bring it up here. So you can kind of see the ribbing is not 1 by 1. It's like 2 by 1 by 1 by 2 by 1. I don't know. Maybe 2 by 1 by 2 by, no, I don't know what it is. Anyway, I think it's supposed to give like a design element. I probably wouldn't do that next time. If that's like the one thing I could complain about this sweater, ribbing was just so fiddly, and I don't feel like it really makes a difference in the final product. I probably would have just gone 1 by 1 if I ever were to knit this again, which I'm highly tempted to, because just one more time. Yeah, look at that. A little bit of a drop shoulder. I don't know if I can just stand up on something. Oh, there you go. Split hem. Oh, this sweater is so nice. I feel like this is my ultimate favorite sweater, and that's why I kind of want to knit it again, but in blue or yellow. Oh man, could you imagine this? Okay, hold on. Okay. Imagine this gorgeousness, but okay. Oh, I'm so sidetracked now. I want to cast it on. Ooh, okay, maybe, I don't know. We're on all the rabbit trails today. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is an FO. I did finish the stocking like I said I would. I no longer have it in my possession because I gave it to my mother to put the sequins, the glitters, the sequins on it. We talked, she can't find the sequins. So at some point, one of us needs to go to a craft store and pick up new sequins so that she can sew it onto the stocking. So it did not get sent in time for Christmas, but I at least got my part done. Yeah. So I do have, that is a finished object. It's not in my possession. But it's also like not done, but my part of it is done. And then I did finish the the tinsel fingerless mitts. And I have given those were a Christmas present, and those were also given away. So I don't have those to show. But I did get them done in time for Christmas, which was nice. So those are my FOs. Like, you get to see this one, but the other two are not in my possession right now, which I'm sorry. I will say, funny story about the stocking. I completed it, posted it on Instagram as proof. Hey, I got this done. And one of my knitting buds was like, is your camera just flipped or is the J backwards? J was backwards. It's what I get for doing duplicate stitching late at night. Whoops. But it's okay. I was so thankful she did that, because I really didn't want my new cousin-in-law to think that I failed English 101. Like, yes, I do know what J's are supposed to look like. I don't have to tell you. So, quick 5-minute fix saved me from a lot of embarrassment. Thank you, Diana. Much appreciated. All right. So, I do want to, before I go into my whips, I kind of want to recap, because, oh my goodness, guys, 2021, it's here. Oh, did you hear that? I did it. I did it. Not good. Must stop. Okay, I do want to recap. I had done a Make 9 for 2020, which I gotta say, we were like elbow deep into the pandemic when I thought, I don't care if I get this done or not. Like, screw my Make 9. I am just trying to survive, like mentally survive this. So I didn't get it done, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But I do want to go over what I got done. So this was on my Make 9. I made some fingerless mitts out of this. This is TurtlePurl yarn. I believe it's like Polly Won a Cracker. And I did make the fingerless mitts. I gave them to a goblin. The goblin has no idea where they are, which normally they're really good about not losing mom's handmade stuff that she gave them. Whatever, it's 2020. I'm just gonna, whatever. But I did make some fingerless mitts out of the leftovers. So I at least had those to show. So not only did I make the mitts, I made fingerless mitts, part of my Make 9. I made, always a favorite, my Madewell, my bright and shiny Madewell from Joji. This is Joji Locatelli's Madewell is the pattern, Sweet Georgia yarn, saffron colorway. I believe the base was Silk Crush, so this also had a silk content. Not as much as this one. And actually, I got this this yarn on sale, which was kind of a blessing. So anyway, Madewell was on my Make 9. That got done. And this is my, okay, pause. Let's talk about ribbing, okay? Like, this is an enormous collar. I can't even see it all. Okay, enormous collar full of ribbing. 6 inches of ribbing at the bottom. Ribbing on the sleeve. Let's move to my other Make 9. This is Himawari Knits. Boy, you'd think I'd remember what it was. No, Running Water. This is a sport weight. It is Cloudborne fibers, which, if you are interested, they are on like clearance at Webs, so yarn.com. And this is their alpaca sport in silver heather. So look at all that ribbing. Oh my gosh. Plus in the back, dude, I did so much ribbing this year. I did not think through this when I was creating the Make 9. But anyway, this was another cardigan that I live in. Between these two cardigans, like, it's hard to keep them clean because I wear them a lot. Yeah. So those were both on my Make 9. More ribbing. This is the Katniss Poncho, which I could tell even when I was making this, that this was not going to be something I wanted to really get into or wear a whole lot. Hold on. Okay, I think maybe it goes that way. Yeah, okay. I didn't think about it, but it came in only one size, and the designer's smaller than me. So I did all this ribbing and knitting, and it'll get given away just because it's just not, like, it's all right. It's not awful. Yeah, like, honestly, it's not awful. I'm not saying it's awful, because it's not. And it certainly would keep you warm. It's just not my thing. I'm not a capey kind of person. And it's so funny how, like, if you're on Ravelry and oh, my hair's all, like those roots. Look at those. It's pretty. All right, it's like you're on Ravelry and you get sucked into the pattern abyss, and you're looking like, oh my gosh, and I know better. Just because that's what the pattern looks like on a person is not what it's going to look like. One, because I don't knit the same way. Two, I don't look anything like that person. Like, I know that, but the designer just looked so cute wearing this. And I had this one skein of yarn that I needed to use up, and I thought, oh, it's a match made in heaven. I'm going to do it, and it's going to be great. And even as I'm knitting, I'm like, why am I doing this? I don't like capes or cowls. I don't, which I feel like is, lots of people like cowls, and that's cool. I keep knitting one, I don't know, maybe every other year. And every time I end up giving it away because I just don't wear them. I don't like things right here. So, and that's not, and this isn't even right there. This is fine, but it's quite warm. It's just not me. But this was also an awful lot of ribbing. So let's see, Threshold, my Madewell, my Running Water, Katniss Poncho, the Fingerless Mitts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5 things done off of my Make 9. That's not bad. That's a win. Also on my Make 9, y'all remember this? I haven't talked about this in a while. My Tulip Shawl. Okay, this has like this crazy construction, which I can't really even hold it up because it's got a crazy construction. I absolutely loved knitting on this, but I ran out of beads. And by the time the beads came in, I had completely forgotten where I was at in the pattern. I have picked it up twice trying to figure it out, and I can't. And I gave myself to the end of January. And if I have not figured out where I am, I'm going to rip out the green and just start again. Because I really do like this shawl, and I really do want to finish it. Like beaded lace, yo. Who doesn't love beaded lace? I love beaded lace. So I really do want to finish this, but I have to figure out where the heck I am. So by the end of January, the green will either be ripped out, or I'll know where I am, and I'll have knitted a row so that I can keep going on this. I don't like it. I don't like certain projects to sit for too long. So that's an FO. Oh, no, it's not. That is a whip from my Make 9 from 2020. Oh, this is all Madelinetosh yarn, by the way. I think this is Modern Fair Isle. This is Grasshopper. I don't remember what that dark color is. I'll put it in the show notes down below. But it's all Madelinetosh. And this is a bird legs bag, which I love, and I have a huge collection of her bags. She's so nice. She doesn't make them anymore. Her sister does, which I will link her shop, but you can also, there are still some bird legs available at my local yarn store, which is how I came across these bags in the first place. So I will link, if you want to link specifically to bird leg bags, but then I'll also link to her sister shop. Her sister's bags are basically the same, and her sister's so nice to work with. She's made me 2 custom bags before. I probably will order another one here in another couple of months. But anyway, yeah, so bird leg bags. Big fan. They both learned to sew from their mother, so they both sew the same. They got the same patterns. It's, yeah, they're really nice. And then one more whip from my Make 9. This is a sweater. I used the Strange Brew pattern. This is a pattern by TinCanKnits, and basically it's a recipe. You can use fingering, DK, or Aran weight yarn, and you can knit your sweater top down or bottom up, and it gives you the counts for, let's say, a fingering weight sweater, and it's like child size, so 0 to 6 months, all the way to, I believe, a 4XL. If I'm wrong, I'll put a correction down in the show notes below. But it'll give you all the counts, like how many stitches to cast on for the collar or for the bottom of the sweater, depending on if you're doing top down or bottom up. It'll tell you how to join sleeves, how to split for sleeves. It gives you all of the counts that you need for fingering weight, DK, Aran, 0 to 6 months to 4XL. And then it also shows you like how to put together a yoke design. So like if you ever want to make a yoke sweater, if you buy this, and it's a more expensive pattern. I want to say it's like $13 or $14, because it's not just a pattern to make one sweater. It's a pattern to make infinitely many sweaters, you know, because you got the 3 weights, all the sizes, plus it's like a DIY your own yoke. So it does take a little bit of prep work. I like top down sweaters. So I decided, okay, that's what I was going to do. This is Madelinetosh ranch wool. Got the white right here. And it's listed as a worsted, but I feel like it's bulky. And I'm not the only one that thinks that, because I was looking at like what other projects people had made using this yarn, and there were other people that were like, maybe Aran, but I think it's bulky too. So I'm not sure how it's worsted. I mean, I'm not a knitting police, so I'm not gonna say, guys, you can't say that, but it sure doesn't feel like worsted to me. I think it's bulky. The pattern called for Aran. I'm not really a swatch person. I'm let's just try it and see what happens. So that's what I'm doing. I have no idea if I have enough yarn. And I'm actually a little nervous on this yoke. But, you know, sometimes you gotta fail a couple of times, and you can either learn from your mistakes or you can just keep on trying. Anyway, so this is the yoke I designed, or I put together. It was kind of fun because I did little swatches of like a wedge to see, okay, am I gonna like that? And I think this one was my 3rd one. I have like graphing paper. Hold on. I don't want to show everything because I've got notes which come from the pattern. Just you can kind of see the sketching things out. And I knew how something looked in a sketch and how it was going to look on the sweater would be 2 different things. So I did do swatches of the wedges to see, is that going to look right? A smart person would have checked her gauge while she had the swatch knit. I didn't do that. But I am nearly done with my color work. Here's where I'm a little nervous. That does not seem like enough. I have a lot more of the blue left. Crossing fingers, I'm almost done. I think I've got 4 more rows that I need to do with the blue, excuse me, with the gray. I've started adding the white. Got little pops of white here in the collar, and right here I'm starting with the white. So I'm doing 3 color strands right now, 3 color stranded knitting. Using 3 colors in 1 row. How do you say that? Anyway, right now, and I'll be done with the gray soon, and then I'll be done with the blue, and it'll be white all the way down. So that's going, and you know, it's such huge yarn, so it knits up very, very quickly. It's weird to knit with large, like thick yarn like that when I'm used to, you know, finer, but it's fun. It's a good time. So that was also part of my Make 9, and hopefully that'll be done in January. I don't see why it wouldn't unless I get distracted. Ooh, squirrel. Ooh, new knitting pattern. So it could happen. For my Make 9 2020, I also had Spring Water and Pointe. I started the shawl Pointe, but frogged it because my yarn choices were not working well. I think I showed that on an earlier episode. And then Spring Water, so when I choose my Make 9, I like to make sure I already have the yarn. And for whatever reason, I don't have enough yarn to make a Spring Water. Like, I will need to purchase yarn in order to make it, which it's a cute sweater. It's a lace weight sweater, which, you know, I'm trying to gear up for. But the yarn I was planning on using for that, I looked at the pattern, I looked at my size, and I didn't have enough. So I thought, well, if I get to it, I get to it, but I'm not going to push for it. So I got 5 out of the 9 done, 2 more whips, and then one more I attempted as a whip and frogged, and then the other one, it was like, that's probably a bad choice. So I can't decide if I want to make a Make 9 2021. Are you guys making a Make 9 2021? Anyway, so yeah, usually every year I start with, or at least the last several years, I start with a Make 9 that I already have the yarn for in my stash. So you can see I have enough. I don't know that your Make 9 has to be done before midnight, January 1st, 2021. Maybe I'll make one today yet. Maybe I'll be sharing it with you later in the video when I'm recording tomorrow. I don't know. Usually I start every year with a stash down goal too. Like, hey, I'm just going to knit from stash. And just don't feel like putting any kind of expectations on my life right now. Just not into it. Maybe I'll only knit from stash this year. Maybe I'll double my stash. I just don't know. I don't know. Anyway, okay. So I would really like to know if you're going to do a Make 9, or do you have any crafting stashing goals? I do have some crafting goals in that, like, I want to finish this. I have not woven 1 strand on this in months. So I'd like to finish this and open it up for other projects. Keep seeing those little strands. I got to get these woven in. I will take you on a small tour. I do have another, I guess I have another whip. I have 2 other whips. They kind of count, kind of don't. You ready for this? This is my Zoom Loom advent calendar. I've been playing with it today. I have laid these squares out all different ways. I don't know if this is how I'm going to seam it together. I just keep playing with it, moving the squares around. But those are all the squares that I wove up during Zoom Along. And I'm just I don't know, trying to figure out how I want to lay them out for the colors. And then over here, I have my table loom. It has been warped, and hopefully I will be knitting dish towels on it starting today. Okay, that was it for my whips. And I guess those are my crafting goals, is to kind of, I want to finish my pin loom blanket. I want to work on my very first project on my table loom, and I want to get this done. So they're all weaving goals. I like weaving. I really do. I still like knitting better though. So, you know, apparently I got some weaving goals there. I do have some sweaters picked out. I would like to continue. I feel like, what I make, nine adult sweaters this year. That's not bad, right? So I'd like to make some more. I'm in a sweater mood. I kind of like how they move. I mean, I like the process of making a sweater. So I do have some sweaters picked out. I have some shawls picked out. You know, maybe I'll knit them up. Maybe I won't. I don't know. It's just kind of where I'm at. But anyway, I will see you in a second. It'll be a second for you. It'll be an entire day for me. But we will do the Zoom Along hashtag Zoom Along 2020 drawing in just a moment. See you guys. Happy New Year. It is now January 1st, 2021. I know you guys were just watching me from yesterday. There were 119 entries for Zoom Along 2020, which is exciting to me because I didn't know how popular a pin loom weave along would be. So thank you guys, everyone that played along. Pin loom weaving is just my favorite craft to do in December because you can sit down and get something accomplished in not that much time. So that was kind of nice. So I think we might do it again next December. I don't know. What do you guys think? Did you enjoy it? Is it not really your thing? Let me know in the comments below. And if you have no idea what Zoom Along 2020 was, because it is done now, it was a pin loom weave along, and pin looms are on the smaller side. So it's weaving, but with the easiest learning curve probably of any weaving. Okay, so there were 118 entries, and I am going to do a random number generator from 2 to 119. Line 1 was just, you know, my headers for my columns. Generate, and it is line 86. So 86 is Frosted Cow. She, oh my God, Lori is her name, and she put in an entry nearly every day. She was using the turtle loom, which is a hexagon. She got a ton of the hexagon shapes woven over the month of December. It was really fun to watch. There were a handful of people that had entries, not quite, I mean, almost every day. I think some people may have even done it every single day. So that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys got further in some of your larger projects like I did. So I will message you, Lori, on Instagram, and you get to pick a skein from my Linden Wool yarn shop on Etsy. So thank you guys again for playing along. I hope you have an amazing 2021. Fingers crossed that it is a better year. Anyway, guys, thanks for joining me on my first episode of 2021. If you had a good time, please consider sharing, subscribing, all of that fun stuff. And I will see you guys in another month. Take care and have a great 2021.